Hey everyone, Robin Openshaw. Welcome. I am kicking off my new book. It is called Take Daily: How Supplements Hijack Our Health. And it's a long story how this book even came to be, but it was a long time before I felt confident enough to go out there with this information. I would go down the black hole of studying one supplement at a time until it basically became a playbook. So I'm here to tell you that I was the biggest supplement junkie of anyone. I'm not here to mock anyone for taking pills for this health problem and that health problem. It's been since the dawn of humankind that human beings want a pill to solve our health problems, but the whole idea of a vitamin was literally invented by the pharmaceutical industry. They started about 100 years ago calling some kind of compound that they seem to have observed a vital amine. And over time, that became a vitamin. And as they found molecularly similar compounds in things like rocks that come out of ore mining facilities or throwaway byproducts of food industries, they would make it into a pill. And, the deeper I got into this research, the more I found that I just had one big overarching question, and that is, how do they get away with it? How do they call these throwaway byproducts of industry, which is virtually always what's the crux of the supplement or the vitamin? How do they get away with it? And I literally went into Chat GPT one day and laid out the most articulate question or query that I could, which was basically something like, so I've figured out that all of these supplements and quote unquote vitamins are actually made from waste products of different industries. And so, how does the vitamin industry justify this? And the answer was really long and it was like several different points. But basically, if I stripped it down for you and I said it to you in the most simple way, the answer was basically because they've been doing it for a long time and because nobody's stopped them. So, anyway, most of your mineral supplements are made from chalk, rocks, and shells. For instance, right now it's kind of trending to take minerals that are made out of what they call pearls. One day I was like, having seen this playbook over and over and over again, I was like, I'm going to figure out if what this pearl mineral supplement is really like mother of pearl, which, as you know, mother of pearl is super, super common. Sure enough, they're marketing it as pearls when it's really the inside of mollusk shells, which are all over the eastern seaboard, probably on the West Coast too, and all over beaches all over the world. Anyway, bottom line is we go chapter by chapter. We go through the things that are the best sellers, the things that have the strongest narratives around them. For instance, the vitamin D narrative. It takes a whole chapter to touch on every part of the vitamin D narrative because it starts with the lab. So you can get the book as well as 3 videos that I did with my co-author, Mike Fairclough. I actually had him work with me so that I could get tons more research done. I mean, there's only so many hours in the day. But here he is on the other side of the cover. I don't know what happened to him today. He was going to do this Facebook Live with me, so I'll have him on next week. I'm on a plane early tomorrow morning to go to my daughter's wedding in Utah, but he's from the UK, and I kind of liked about him that he had never used supplements. So here he is on his motorcycle. So we're on different sides of the pond. Male, female, we're both parents of 4 children, but I was a huge supplement taker because honestly, companies send me their supplements for free. And he didn't take any supplements. He just gets in the sun and he was a headmaster. He was the only headmaster out of 4,500 in the UK who stood up to mandates for children. And as such, he can no longer be a headmaster. So he works as a ghost author, and I had him work with me on this. And I would tell him what I had learned about, for instance, vitamin D, which is just an example of what you'll learn from this book is how do they get away with it telling everybody that they need vitamin D and getting them to take this pill that's actually cholecalciferol and have everybody thinking that vitamin D that your body makes as a corticosteroid in the sun, in contact with the sun, the same thing as this substance called cholecalciferol that they sell you? How do they get everybody to think that the research supports this? Well, we walk it through for you in one chapter, but it was really interesting to tell Mike what my conclusions were, give him some ideas of where to search, um, tell him how to figure out what the base materials are, how to figure out what the chemicals are that are used in the manufacturing of that substance, and also go further. How about the lab test? And so I would tell him what I had learned, and then he would come back to me and be like, oh my gosh, I've researched this and that and that and that and the other thing. And AI makes it easy for us because it'll write a report for us and it'll give us the references. So we can click in and see the references, and we can see, we can narrow it down and say, I only want PubChem and PubMed sources, for instance. That's a totally valid thing to ask of ChatGPT. But I felt like we needed to write this book before it all they started gatekeeping, because I saw when that happened with Google, I saw my business lose organic search when Google became very pay to play in the updates in 2017 and 2018. So I fully expect it'll happen with AI as well. And I don't know, maybe by then people who read Take Daily will eventually not be able to find the information and will not be able to fact check us and find it in ChatGPT or Grok, or we used all the AIs. Okay, and we don't just take AI's word for something. We actually look at primary sources as well. But anyways, it's at greensmoothiegirl.com/take daily is our launch special, which is you get 3 free videos that are by me and Mike doing content like six supplements we would never take and why. And a couple other topics that were really popular when we polled my audience. And there's also the audiobook free where Mike and I read every other chapter, which is kind of fun because he has a really great British accent that I think you'll enjoy listening to. Put down below where you're joining us from. Put down below where you're joining us from, where you live. Also, like, how much would you say that you spend in a month or in a year on supplements, whichever one is easiest for you? I'm super interested in hearing from you. If you're watching this, how much money are you spending on supplements? I quit taking supplements. It was a gradual process. I lost faith in this one, and then that one, and then that one, and then that one. And it was a very long, slow, gradual process that I actually lost confidence in the whole industry. You're going to get to a point where you're probably going to be like reading the book and saying, where's she going to tell me what the good brand is? Well, first of all, I do not get commissions from supplement brands. So I do at the end tell you a brand that I have absolutely no affiliation with and don't know anyone there that does actually use food as ingredients. But it's not that I'm against supplements. It's not that all of them are made of garbage, only about 99+% of them. And I wish I had better news for you, but usually where people want to go when they first start hearing that their supplements are made out of garbage products of other industries, where they can find a molecule in common or a few molecules in common with something that's found in the body or in food. And so they call them the same thing and they put them in a pill and call it a vitamin or call it a supplement. And they don't make really super overt promises like that it can cure this or that. They're careful not to step out of scope, but there are certain things that they can say, and it makes you think that it's going to help you with X, Y, or Z health problem. So another thing that they do is lab tests will shoehorn people into taking a lot of supplements. Another thing that they do that they're super successful at is telling you deficiency stories. And the problem with it is that there are actual deficiencies, but most of the deficiency stories that you're told, including that 85% of us are deficient in the corticosteroid hormone that they call vitamin D, most of those deficiency stories are actually false. So the book walks you through them. We try to make it very readable and interesting and entertaining. But again, you can find it at greensmoothiegirl.com/take daily. You can also ask down below, and I'm sure one of my staff will give you the link to it, and it gives you some great freebies, the three videos with me and Mike Fairclough, as well as the the audio version of the book. And if you want, the one and only supplement that I actually do still take every single day. No solvents are involved, no petrochemicals, no ground up rocks, chalk, or shells. And it's how I actually address the fact the one true deficiency story out there is mineral deficiency, and it's because of the way that we farm. It's the fact that we don't replenish our soils. So we have some really dead soils that we're growing our crops in using synthetic nitrogen fertilizer. So really unfortunate that that's what most of our farms went to decades ago. And because they can still get nice red bell peppers or nice red tomatoes or nice orange carrots out of the field through this very inexpensive way that doesn't make them leave a field not producing revenue for a year like we always did throughout human history to replenish that soil. Farmers have done it because the revenue is good. Sometimes they can even get two crops in a year out of the same soil, propping it up with nitrogen fertilizer. So you can get just the book. You can get the book with all the freebies in the audio book, or you can even get my favorite mineral supplement, which actually does address a true deficiency. There's not very many of us who aren't deficient in some minerals, and we need minerals for every single thing that our body does. So, okay, maybe next week when I'm back from my daughter's wedding, I'll come on with Mike and we'll do him and me a back and forth. We have a rapid fire asking questions and answering after all the research that he and I have done about supplements. And thanks for being here. I'll see you next time.